For more on the Michael Sam announcement, we welcome in ESPNW columnist Kate Fagan. Kate, the only other big-name athlete to announce that they were gay at the beginning of their pro career was Brittany Griner. You had a behind-the-scenes view with her as it all came down. So what hurdles did she face that could be potential obstacles for Sam?
I think what was important to note about spending so much time with Brittany Griner last year was that she was actually echoing many of the same sentiments we're hearing Michael Sam say tonight, that she wanted to tell her own story and own her own truth. And we heard Sam say that today. And I think Brittany last year made an important statement by saying that she only wanted to work with brands and work with sponsors who are willing to accept her for who she is. And I think it was really remarkable in seeing how many brands out there and how many sponsors were not shying away from her embracing her sexuality and who actually felt like the time had come to embrace authenticity and inclusion. And there were not as many hurdles for Brittany Griner as I think people had anticipated. And while that's a different situation than what Michael Sam faces because of a lot of the culture that we talk about around the NFL, I do think he's primed in a time period right now that is ready for this announcement.
So you mentioned sponsorships, you mentioned brands, and you compare that to Brittany Griner. What type of support or lack thereof could we expect for Michael Sam, given that is the NFL and it is a different culture?
I mean, I think from a brand and sponsorship perspective, I think there's going to be a number of people out there and companies out there who want to be affiliated with this idea of authenticity and inclusion. Now, as far as the NFL goes, you know, I've spent some time with Troy Vincent, former NFL player, who made it clear to me that the NFL locker room is ready for an openly gay player. I don't think that's going to be the issue. I do think it's a different story in team management and folks making those draft picks. But in the end, I think there are plenty of teams out there in the NFL who are going to be willing to draft Michael Sam and, quote-unquote, deal with his, quote-unquote, distraction, which I think will prove ultimately to be not that big of a distraction.
Missouri defensive end and co-SEC Defensive Player of the Year, Michael Sam, publicly announcing that he is openly gay, giving us her insight. She is ESPNW columnist Kate Fagan. Thanks, Kate.